Fox News alert, here we go. One of the two National Guardsmen shot on Thanksgiving Eve is still fighting for his life. He's in critical condition this morning. He remains there.
And it comes as officials reveal the suspect was likely radicalized while living here in the United States.
Madeline Rivera joins us live from Washington with the latest. Good morning, Maddie.
Good morning. The family of 24-year-old Andrew Wolf is asking for prayers. He's receiving an outpour of support, including from West Virginia Governor Patrick Morrisey.
You know, I had a chance to be at the hospital yesterday, and I want to tell you something. When you go there, sometimes when you go to a hospital, a lot of people are very concerned. People certainly are here. But the positive energy, the spirit that the families bring to bear, that his friends have, everyone is rooting for him so hard to make it to that next level. And it's really encouraging to see.
Communities in West Virginia have been holding vigils for 20-year-old Sarah Beckstrom, who passed away on Thanksgiving. President Trump is extending an invite to meet with Beckstrom's parents.
I said, when you're ready, because it's a tough thing, come to the White House. We're going to honor Sarah. And likewise with Andrew, recover or not, we're going to honor her.
Investigators have been going through the background of the suspect, 29-year-old Rahmanullah Lakhanwal, an Afghan national who once worked with the CIA. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem revealing a big update as investigators look into what motivated Lakhanwal to allegedly drive from Washington state to the nation's capital to carry out this attack.
We believe he was radicalized since he's been here in this country. We do believe it was through connections in his home community and state, and we're going to continue to talk to those who interacted with him. Anyone who has information on this needs to know that we will be coming after you, and we will bring you to justice.
Another Afghan national is facing state terror charges in Texas after DHS says he plotted to make a bomb with the intention of targeting the Fort Worth area. He was arrested on Tuesday, the day before the D.C. shooting. Guys, back to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Maddie. Kristi Noem was asked about this, and she said under the Trump administration, he has strengthened the vetting process for incoming immigrants. She said, including reviewing social media accounts for anyone coming over and checking on who they interact with. And then Donald Trump, right after this happened, after the ambush on Thanksgiving Eve last Wednesday, he said he's going to impose additional restrictions on migrants and will stop all immigration from third world countries. And then he has since doubled down. Listen to this.
How long does your administration plan to pause asylum into the U.S.?
I think a long time.
Can you give any?
We don't want those people. We have enough problems. We don't want those people.
Is that a year, 2 years?
No time limit.
And then,
but it could be a long time.
You said there.
We don't want those people. Do you understand that?
I think when he's talking about the people, he's clearly talking about the terrorists, the people that are radicals that are coming within our country, because the vetting process is almost non-existent. Sure, there's certain profiles that you can get, especially when someone is working for the CIA. But when you have people fleeing to planes and you don't know the background of them, you're not able to talk with the people there where they were currently living, that's problematic. And I think that's what the president is highlighting.
So in terms of this shooting in particular, the one in Washington, D.C., the National Refugee Agency was warned multiple times that this guy was spiraling out of control, that he had basically non-existent, had no job, but basically left his family. And people are pointing out that he's showing mental illness. It began in 2023. How we got asylum in April of 2024, April of 2025, I'm not sure. But the one thing they never did is when they never checked his. A lot of people didn't have any fingerprints or any type of criminal record when they were over in Doha. Then they come over here and the people say, okay, he worked with the Zero Unit and he worked with the CIA. Well, that's fine. In Afghanistan, because you work with us in Afghanistan, it doesn't mean you belong on my cul-de-sac or that you can adjust to our culture, or there's got to be a monitoring system along the way to say,
he
wait a second.
To his check-ins.
Right, absolutely, yeah. And he has PTSD, which happens to our guys too. This guy, obviously, it's a perpetual war zone for the last 35 years over in Afghanistan. So we have to look at everybody immediately. And what the president's saying is he's frustrated. A lot of these men and women come over here. We don't know much about them. We're a nation of immigrants, so we take in the needy. But if you come in from a third world country, in a country that is $37 trillion in debt, you immediately go on social welfare programs. That's the attraction. You have a social safety net. You get a hotel room, you get 3 meals, and you get asylum previously to this administration. That's why he's saying we have to look out for Americans first. If you come here and immediately burden our society, we already decided in the turn of the 20th century, if you did not have a job, if you did not have relatives here, they put you back on the boat and sent you back on Ellis Island. All of a sudden, we now say, okay, we're a rich country, take everyone in. The president's saying, no, we have to re-examine how the refugees, wherever they are going to benefit us.
Well, we remember what happened in Afghanistan and how they took all of our weapons and we left so much behind. Joe Biden left so much behind. And through connections with his home country, apparently that's how he was radicalized, according to Kristi Noem. She says we're going to continue to talk to those who interacted with him, who were his family members. She said they have received some participation from people who knew him. And she says that this vetting process, it all stems back to Joe Biden's administration. But Dems are trying to downplay it. Listen.
This is a desperate attempt of the Trump administration to blame everybody else in the world and not accept any accountability. In this case, there's no evidence that there was something that escaped the vetting.
They're going to blame Joe Biden on everything. I mean, it is almost getting comical, at this point.
Don't say that all Afghans in the United States, those who served with our military and who lost their lives and their health and their families in many ways by doing so, don't say that they're all bad.
Yeah, but I think they're missing the point. And just because you serve with our military doesn't mean that you couldn't have radical ties. There's a lot of things that we do in a time of war. We work with people that aren't the best people for a common purpose at times. But if you talk with some people that are veterans that left Afghanistan, a lot of the people from Afghanistan came back that worked with us that are upset with the United States. They feel like they should be getting more. And many people are pointing to that as a potential motive to why this guy was radicalized, that he felt like the U.S. should have been able to give him a free ticket, free meal, housing, and all of that. And I'm sorry, we just don't have that. We don't have enough for our people, our homeless veterans that are living on the streets right now.
It's got to be priorities. Right. It's got to be America first. But I would say, too, a lot of people that we know had fixers over in Afghanistan. 100%. And they worked really hard when everything collapsed to get them out. Operation Pineapple was that. So you need somebody to be that sponsor of that person and tell me what they did, and that'll be part of the screening process. But just to say, you watch what happened in Afghanistan, Senator Kelly. You know the president's not making it up or blaming Biden out of this thin blue sky. He's doing it because we watched what happened, the biggest disaster in American military history that makes Saigon look like a well-organized exit. And now we have to bring everybody back here, and we're dealing with the aftermath because we saw what almost happened in Texas.
100%.
We also have Tom Cotton, who's coming up on our show. He is the Senate Intel Committee Chair and the Senate Armed Services Committee. He serves on that committee. He knows a lot about this. He actually served in Afghanistan. He'll have more details for us.
There'll be a lot of news there.